Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your boy OG Big Sam back at you for another session of that tea. Wicked Wednesday tea. I hope everybody's doing fine. As y'all see, I got a couple of my good friends and brothers and compadres, brothers in arms joining me this afternoon. Big Ant, you know what I'm saying? To my right and down below us, the Don, the man, the myth, the exhibitionist. And we're gonna be coming off of last week, looking at the state of the union of the coach and the quarterback and being on the same page, you know, and the misconception of, either one not knowing what the other and how the other and to get along with and, and how in everything in the aspect of the scheme and what Arthur's trying to do and, how people think that Dez is unfit or not ready or or don't get it, which I seem to think clearly the otherwise. You have to when you're watching these games. My thing is that I've come to learn over the last couple of years. When you're watching these games, you got to watch them from a big picture perspective. You know, to understand like how the coach sequences his plays or script the plays and taking information, gathering information on the defense as the game progresses and goes on, and how that helps the quarterback to be able to progress things easier, progress things faster, you know, to see, especially when you walk up to the line of scrimmage and you're checking them out and you want to, okay, this is what they look like they're doing as opposed to what we doing. Do I need to change? You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. You know, um, with that being said, either one of you guys could take off on what you may think of, what you think of that.
You go first, Ant.
Um, you know, I think they on the same page. As Juan states on every show that we have, um, a rookie is going to make rookie mistakes, no matter what. You can't get around it. So I don't think they're not on the same page. I just think they were just going through going through the motions, trying to fill out the situations, and because last year he only played 4 games, and let's be honest, towards the end of the season we wasn't really playing for anything. So it was just like I don't want to say practice, but like a gear up for this season.
Yeah, it was really the beginning of his training camp,
Yeah,
his preseason process.
exactly.
You know,
So
yeah.
when this season come, it's just like he's furthering, furthering his training camp. So I think they on the same page.
Hmm.
All right. I got a question for
Yes,
you
sir.
guys. And I got a question for everybody who's listening. Everybody who's tuning in, thank y'all for joining and tuning in to Big OG Big Showstopper. The Showstopper. Hey, he doing great things on his channel. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all haven't subscribed yet. I want to get that out the way first. But my question I want to raise to everybody about Arthur Smith. Name me one quarterback that this man has developed. And this is not a shot at Arthur Smith, and this is also not a shot at Desmond Ritter. Name me one quarterback that Arthur Smith has developed.
Hmm.
I mean, has he really been in a situation to develop a quarterback?
That's why I asked.
Not
This is
really.
why I asked the question, because this is his first time actually, going through the motions of developing a quarterback in Desmond Ridder. All right. Yes, he was in Tennessee with Marcus Mariota, but guess what? He was not the guy to develop Marcus Mariota. All right. They traded to get Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill was already developed. Tannehill was the product of what he was already it was when he got to Tennessee. So, and then he came here to Atlanta, and you had a future Hall of Famer and Matt Ryan already on the roster. So you really didn't have to do too much with Matt Ryan other than scheme and play call. Now he's in a position to develop a quarterback in Desmond Ridder. Guess what? It's not going to be pretty. And I've said this a couple of times before. They are both going through the growing pains of Arthur Smith trying to develop Desmond Ridder into an NFL quarterback, and Desmond Ridder is trying to become developed for him to make the plays, understand the scheme, understand the play calling. So the transition, not even transition, but what we're going through right now is you're gonna have some good games, you're gonna have some bad games. We've seen them all within this season, and even the last 4 games of last year. It's going to take time. Arthur Smith does not have a resume of developing quarterbacks like an Andy Reid, like believe it or not, a Kyle Shanahan, or Josh McDaniels. Like they don't have.
Right.
He don't have. Doug Peterson is another one too. Like he don't have a resume like those guys, so he has to understand what works and what doesn't work for his rookie quarterback.
I got a even better question, because it stood to be asked if you really look at the situation. Is Arthur Smith plate too full?
You talking about with being a head coach and scheming and doing and that's what we're going to look at, and this is why we're going to look at it this year, because we didn't. Last year was kind of an outlier because you had Marcus Mariota, and the last 4 games you had Ridder. So this year, right here's the telltale: is his plate too full? Do he really just need to just worry about managing the team versus then actually doing, not only managing the team, but you also play calling the scheming and everything as well. And I really think part of the scheming is not all on him. I can really see David Ragone is also scheming it as well. So we also talked about you have Matt Shaw being somewhat, he's in the capacity of being on the coaching staff on this team. I really feel like by next year he should be either the quarterback's coach or the OC of this team.
Okay. All right. Well, let's change the question to this angle. Is it he just hasn't really necessarily figured out how to delegate those responsibilities in said factor? Or is it just we need to, give it time for him and the staff to get their rhythm?
You just got to give it time, man. Because the thing is, what you don't want to do is you don't want to have, and we don't. I really feel like we don't have a team full of yes men like we had in the last regime.
Right.
All right. Arthur Smith, he knows what identity he wants on his offense. We know that for sure.
And
he's not.
Their coaching meetings might be like our conversations in the chat.
Right.
Yeah. You got a lot of disagreements between him, Ragone, and Yates. I feel like with Yates, I don't agree with him being the wide receivers coach. I know I've said this so many times. I really feel like Yates would be better at a passing game coordinator.
Right.
A passing game coordinator, they do a lot of scheme for us, the passing situations.
Now we guesstimated, what I'm saying, the outlier, so to speak, of the situation with Yates. He's came from that system, under Kubiak. You know, and so did Sharp. Well, you know, Sharp, he played up under Kubiak. So, but you know, I think it may be a real strong time to bring in, you know, a guy that actually played the position
Hmm.
to coach that position.
Yeah.
You know, I think we can all agree on that. Give a quick holler to it. You know, everybody in the chat real quick. Pat Norris was happening. Devon was happening. Nathan Floyd, thank you for joining. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, hit the likes. You know, get the likes up a little bit. Um, Devon says our fan base wants immediate success, but don't want to go through the process. We've been saying that for the last 3 weeks.
And
Oh yeah, yeah. That and this is the thing. You're going to go through. It's called a Ricky struggle. All
yep.
right, that
Mm-hmm.
what Ritter is going through. Like, yes, he's gonna have good games and he's gonna have bad games. Look at Sunday, we had a good
Mm-hmm.
game, but to some critics, they'd be like, "Oh, well, it wasn't good enough because we didn't score enough points." And I'm like, "Okay, well, the drop passes that we had, and then Dahlman, having a penalty, that's not on Ritter. Like there could have
Right.
been yes, was there opportunities for us to go down the field and score like another touchdown, a field goal? Yes, there would have. We could have easily. I wouldn't sit up here and say we left 57 points on the board. That's asinine. That's an asinine comment to make for whoever said that the other day. Now I feel like we did leave 10 points on the board. We could have easily been up by like 28 points in that game come Sunday.
Yeah.
But you have drive killers when people, fumble the ball 2 times, and then you have your offensive lineman, one of them, they want to do stupid stuff that kills it.
Right.
So yeah, he could have threw more touchdowns. He could have threw another touchdown, but I don't think that he was going to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. Again, I've been saying this so many times. Oops. I've been saying it so many times. This offense is not designed to score a lot of points. This offense is designed to just keep the ball away from the opposing offense.
Just enough. Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of coincides with what I've been saying overall, you know what I'm saying, since preseason. It's basic old school 1970s run it and play hard nose deep. Now, is he gonna, try to, get more of what we got this past Sunday out there, in cohesion with the run game? Of course. Of course. You know, but for the most part, like I've been saying, this in this scheme, generally mostly everything about this scheme starts with the O line.
Yep.
If the O line is not clicking, you can't get no rhythm. There's no chemistry. There's no timing. And as you saw Sunday, Ritter had that 3-step drop, bam, 4-step drop, bam, 5-step drop, bam. Been saying it, and it's just there, clear as day. The O line, that man uniform was clean. You give him a clean pocket, clean uniform, he will cut you down like a lawnmower. Plain and simple. The a lot of the wide receiver, what I'm saying, skill set concepts, or route concepts were pretty interesting. Them outs and fades and in routes and underneath slants. Yeah, yeah. You're getting to see Arthur's ability, the staff's ability to, when it's working, You know what I'm saying? You put it in. You call it. Even bring it back and call it into from a different. What I'm saying, phase from a different formation. And Ritter was on. I think out of the 8-9 incompletions, I think maybe only 2 of them were actually bad passes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I mean, shit. I think y'all are definitely going to be right as far as like to have that. What is a good example? The Sean Payton Drew Brees connection. You know, you definitely you're looking for something like that. You're definitely talking about time. I figure a quarterback will get in a meeting with the coaches and they'll find out what he likes, you know, and then they can tell him what they see as opposed to what he sees. You know what I mean? And being on the same page like that, being able to, connect each other's thoughts, like that with one on the field and one on the booth, that takes time. It is. It's going to take some time. What you think, Ant?
Yeah, of course it's gonna take time. I mean, yeah, we're trying to strive for that, Drew Brees and Peyton connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, technically, this is their first year together, so
Yeah.
it's going to take time. I mean, as a fan base as a whole, we have to be more patient and stop trying to put everything in the microwave.
Exactly.
I mean, some
Exactly.
some things need to go in the toast oven.
Yeah.
Let it take some time, to cook
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly,
Mm-hmm.
so you can see the finished product. The
Yeah.
finished
See.
product might not come this year. It might not. It might
Exactly.
come next year.
Yeah. I mean, when you really look at the situation, this is the first actual open year where you was able to bring in the ingredients that you wanted in this
Yeah.
pot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be able to set this in place and that in place, and what I'm saying, and then let it all grow and rise together in the same pot, in the same bowl. Let that oven cook.
And you can see what they emphasize is off season. They want us, the team, Terry Funk don't want us to be a defensive team. It's
Mm-hmm.
showing.
It's showing.
It's showing. We are a top 10 defense. And the thing is, if you want to win games, you got to stop the other team from scoring, which we've been doing.
Bingo.
Yes, we had 2 games we lost against Detroit and Jacksonville, but those are good teams we played against and we lost.
I said, I think most of us said coming into this year after when the schedule dropped, our measuring sticks are going to be against the teams that went to the playoffs last year on our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. True to the fact we got punched in the mouth, what I'm saying, in both. Um, for the first time against Jacksonville, I saw Desmond actually have a real rookie moment.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep.
That was a defensive disguise, and when because I saw it, I said he think it's man and it's not.
Look right at it. That's
And then that other one now that other pick I put on Drake. I put on Drake because that was supposed to be a three, what I'm saying, a 3-step slant, and he took it 5. Dez
Yeah.
threw it where he was supposed to be, as opposed to where he was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which what we was talking about, his receivers not helping him. Yeah, we saw where it was a different story this week. You know, and let me kind of run off into this week's STFU, and that's gonna be everybody that continues to move the goalposts when this team gives you what you ask for. We won, but can he do it again? Can he be consistent? Come on, man. Come on. Just get it up when the man, the team, the staff, the unit does it. I mean, let's follow it. Week one, I don't know, he ain't put up no numbers. Okay, week two, he gave you numbers. He ain't throw for 300 yards. He can't get it downfield. Even in those losses, he showed him being able to get it downfield. There were flashes of that. Then it was, he can't throw for 300 yards. Well, the running game wasn't working Sunday, and what happened? Who carried the team?
Iced them up.
And y'all still, can he do it consistent? STFU, please.
Like, oh, when he only threw one touchdown, but really that wasn't really a touchdown. That was a glorified run play. I'm like,
Oh
again,
Right.
again, like y'all. As far as moving the goalposts, y'all do this so many times. Going back to just several years. Oh, well, we need a quarterback that can run and move around and stuff. Okay, well, we drafted one.
Yep.
And then now y'all have the same expectations for him like y'all had for someone who was an all-pro MVP quarterback. Like, you can't do that. That's not fair. Like, he hasn't played a year. And I hate to say that this is not fair because life is not fair, but at the same time, like y'all have these unrealistic expectations for a guy who hasn't played this whole season yet.
Yep.
Right.
So I got a question for y'all.
Roll with it.
What rookie quarterback do you know can be consistent?
Look at the rookie quarterbacks right now. Look at Bryce Young. Bryce Young has yet to win the game.
Nope.
CJ Stroud. Like the first game he played, it was kind of and then like he had a few good weeks, and then last week we shut him down. Anthony Richardson, man, that man can't even stay on the field. He get hurt all the time.
He out for 4 games now.
So that the thing is, like and I'm glad you raised that question. Like rookie quarterbacks are not going to be consistent like that. Even look at the sophomore quarterbacks from last year. Like look at Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett. They have good games and they have bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the 2021 class, Zach Wilson, he played a good game last week against Kansas City, and they lost against the Chiefs. But that was like the best game I've seen of Zach Wilson since he's been drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Then Trey Lance, we already know he's backing up Dak, and I really feel like if Cowboys keep struggling, they may end up putting him in, but it ain't gonna be no better. And then Justin Fields, okay, he had one good game against Washington.
Yeah, Devon, this is a perfect example of moving the goalposts.
Yep.
It's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when Dez do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, what you say on the show last night, Sam? They not the goalposts. They moved the whole damn stadium.
Right.
Yep.
What up, ATL Leo? They do these kind of things. I don't understand what the problem is of you not wanting to say positive things about this quarterback when he does them. I mean, it's like y'all are looking for something to be wrong so you can stand on and get on your soapbox and gripe about it. I got news for you people. That's not supporting the team. That's not supporting the team. When you're constantly week in and week out looking for something to be wrong, you know what I'm saying, waiting on the mistake to be made. See, I told you you're not an NFL quarterback. Right there, bro. Nobody's an NFL quarterback till maybe their third or fourth year or
I got
fifth year.
I got a question for some.
Especially the quarterback position.
I got a question for some of these guys, these people watching. I talking about a quarterback is an easy cop out to look at what's wrong in the team and also look at you want to fulfill your expectations of what you want for the team. But okay, we talked about Ritter a lot. I'm not trying to take over your show, Sam.
No, you're good.
What about Drew Dalman? Like, why are we not talking about someone who constantly is not blocking? He's giving up pressure in the middle of the line that's forcing Ritter to either bail out or to make mistakes. Like, why are we not talking about Drew Dalman? Like, it's easy to pick on the quarterback, but don't nobody want to go back and look at the film and see how he's getting beat at every snap.
There it is, Don. That's the point right there.
Yeah.
They don't go back and watch the film. So they're gonna go back to what they know, blaming the quarterback. That's it.
And then I holler, well, I know football.
No.
No,
No, you don't.
No. I mean, that's a valid point, Don. I mean, you know, the offensive line, most notably Dalman, who we saw last year with these very same issues, and I myself even said, well, because me personally, I thought his issue was strength and conditioning, the way he was getting blown up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know what I'm saying. So I figured out, okay, Arthur, get him in the weight room. You know what I'm saying. You know, get some of that Popeye the Sailor Man action going on. You know what I mean, and maybe things will change. Shit. Look like he didn't get the spinach because Bluto been whooping his ass every week. Every week. You know, at this point, I'm narrowing it down to Terry. It's gonna be a toss up. It's either we gonna, you know, trade for a center, a veteran, or it's gonna be, you know, that edge out of Minnesota, huh? Right now, I mean, they're kind of neck and neck at this point. You know, why don't we let's look into next week's game against these Washington, formerly known Redskins, and Sam Howell and the crew. You know, Demetrius Sweat and the boys on defense. What's everybody's outlook of, you know, in the possibility you know, with this game coming up?
Well, I say because I was watching Scott Kennedy's show earlier, and I said in the chat that they have a hard time stopping the run. So, and on top of that, they are at the bottom of the league in, I think, in scoring. So I made the point that why not? What's the best way to neutralize a pass rush? You run right at them.
You run the ball.
So I was like, well, you run the ball and you play defense. That's it. I mean, it's not that difficult.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying is just to add to what you said is like Sam Howell gets sacked a lot. So they're the most sacked team. The Commanders are the most sacked team in the NFL right now. We do need to run the ball in this game. Now, I don't want us to lose this game because everybody been talking about Eric Bieniemy. So that's most of these Falcons fans, they're gonna let it go that we should have signed this man to be our head coach. But it is what it is. Yeah. I really feel like this game is going to be. I'm not gonna say it's similar to what we played this past week, but I do really feel like we should get a sack or two this Sunday, and we should be able to get a turnover. We didn't get it. We didn't even get a turnover last week.
Right.
We could have almost Bates. Like, was it Bates or Terrell?
Yeah, it was Bates. It would have been a house call. That would have been a pick six.
Yeah, that would have been pick six, and we didn't get it. So with this game right here, man, like, for the offensive side of the ball, I know I said I run the ball, and we got our new weapon in Van Jefferson. We need Ritter to make plays out of the pocket. That's how Justin Fields and that Chicago Bears team beat Washington last Thursday. He got out of the pocket. He made plays. So we can do the same thing against Washington. I feel like we'll have a better outcome.
Well, yeah, because they do have some defensive issues on the field, and in the front office. I don't think everybody's brain is on the field at this point, and some of them, a couple of them guys on that defensive line are concerned about their pocket. And that can wear on play as well. As far as Eric Bieniemy, if people have ever been paying attention to anything I've ever said about Eric Bieniemy, y'all know what I think about him. As a guy who probably never called a play over the course, he probably never called 5 plays over 9 years over there in Kansas City. Yeah. I'm just saying,
that wasn't his
he was
job.
a good running back in the day. He was a good running back. You know what I'm saying? But for this right here and trying to implement a certain particular standard, a culture, a scheme, it's gonna be a little bumpy. It's gonna be a little bumpy. The same thing we've been saying about our own. It's gonna be a little bumpy. They're gonna try to do what everybody else has been trying to do to Dez and this offense. I think that last week's game kind of raised some eyebrows. He kind of raised some eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? The ball was spread around. He was marching up and down the field at will.
You need to look at her.
Okay. I think this offensive line performs along those same lines. I think we are going to get a repeat. It may not be 300. It could be 270. You know what I'm saying? 260. You know what I'm saying? In a couple of TDs. With the zero in the turnover box. You know what I'm saying? And maybe 15 or 20 yards or so. Maybe 30 yards on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Two hiccups. In these wins, we have put up 20 plus points. 24, 25, 21. We are hovering right around 19.8, if I'm not mistaken.
So you round that up, that's 20. So 20. So if we can score at least 20 points, we can win the game. Because I know our defense. I have confidence in our defense. They're gonna stop a team. We can keep a team for under 17 points. I get it. People want to have games like the Dolphins versus the Broncos. They want to score 70 points and stuff, but I don't want to see that. I want to see us run down the clock. I want us to play possession type of offense You know, you get down the field. If you don't come up with a touchdown, okay, you kick a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then you go back on defense, 3 and out. Okay, we get the ball back.
See, I'm going to express that, sentiment a little. You know, a lot of y'all Vic babies. Okay, let me give you one of the oldest expressions in football. Okay, run game, defense will travel.
Yep.
Okay, trust. You get in the playoff and you can run the ball. You're gonna be you may tend to be playing in in February if you can run the ball and you got a solid defense. Y'all out here trying to looking for the greatest show on turf 3.0. Just something that really only comes around every 2-3 decades ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at 1974, 76, 77. Don Coryell, who ended up with the nickname Air Coryell. That phase lasted about two, maybe 3 years, and the NFL defense caught up to it. It was a whole nother 2-3 decades when the greatest show on turf in St. Louis happened.
Yep.
And how long did that phase last? 2-3 years till the defenses caught up.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to
One
Chip Kelly?
thing that some defenses can't seem to catch up to is a bona fide, bone-jarring run game. Which means you have to have an offensive line that can punch you in the mouth, move you, open up doors, open up gates, open up streets for the running backs to go through or go around. Which means if you're running consistently, you're eating up clock. You're taking possessions away from the other team. Especially when your defense is getting off your defense's third down percentage is 32%. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Chestnut checkers, man.
Yeah.
All day.
Game of chess.
All doggone day.
Yo,
I mean, you got see y'all. They're out here looking for sacks and turnovers instead of looking at what's really, again, looking at having that big picture mindset. But they out here small mind, closed mind, small mind thinking. When the D line is getting pressure, the D line is moving the line of scrimmage. Okay, we're causing quarterbacks to have missteps, errant throws. Run games running wide. And we ended up in 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 7s and 3rd and 12s and getting off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are 5th in the league on defensive third downs, baby. Can we understand and get his defensive love? They're doing their job.
That's the thing. They don't want to look at the defense, but I'm not shocked because for years we've been telling people that we'll be a better team if we have a defense. Now we have a defense. People just overlooking at the accomplishments we have made these first 5 games of the season. People want to look at, they still want to see, okay, the offense is a problem. Offense is young, you guys. You have damn near a rookie quarterback. You have a rookie running back in Bijan Robinson. Tyler Algier is a sophomore running back. Yeah, he ran over 1,000 yards last year, but guess what? Like, it's year 2 for him. Year 2 for Drake London. Kyle Pitts just came back from an injury last year. And then you got Yonu Smith and Mac Hollins. This is their first year on the team. And then we just brought in Van Jefferson, and we also brought in Scotty Miller. So it's going to take time for this entire offensive core to build a chemistry. Not even mentioning, the offensive line. Yeah, you got McGarry, you have Lindstrom. These guys they play well. Matthews, he's like the only stalwart on the offense right now.
Right.
Bergeron's a rookie. Dahlman, he's struggling, but hopefully he can, get better down the stretch.
I mean, matter of fact, that's the sole reason, you know what I'm saying, in the off season that that Arthur and them attacked the defense the way they did in free agency. He knew he had to put some veteran presence and leadership on the defense, with that, along with production, because he knew there were going to be speed bumps, there were going to be hiccups, there were going to be rookie growing pains through this season that the defense was going to have to cover up. And people are out here acting like, okay, Ritter is an 8-year veteran instead of an 8-game, rookie. The boy hasn't even played a whole season. He's a half a season into his NFL Similac life. I mean, you come on, you got to be smarter than the fifth grader when you're looking at, the totality of this roster and where they're, put in key positions at young. Kyle Pitts is 23 years old. Just saying. And he has to learn the tight end position. Literally, he has to learn. Yes, he's an anomaly. He's a unicorn, as some of y'all want to call him. But even with all those physical gifts, from a mental standpoint, he has to learn the tight end position. And with the ability they have, he's probably going to have to learn the receiver position too. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
So I got a question on defense last year, preferably starting line.
Mm-hmm.
What was our problem? We couldn't get on the field,
we
right?
was getting no push, and every team was triple teaming Grady.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, what's the difference?
We're getting pushed.
Pressure.
We're getting pushed.
We're getting pushed, but is our defensive line complete like where we need it to be? No, it's not. However, our secondary is way better than it was.
Bingo. That's it.
Yes.
Like Jerry Gray, and I've been telling people this. Jerry Gray, yes, Ryan Nielsen is our defensive coordinator, but Jerry Gray he deserves his flowers of how our DBs have been playing, trying to create turnovers, playing tight coverage when we need to play tight coverage. The zones that we're playing, it makes sense. When they're not out there just playing zone defense just to be like, okay, well, I'll just cover this part of the field. No, it's with purpose. Because they know, okay, well, this player is going to run in this zone. So if say for instance, last week we played what's the receiver they had on the Texans?
D-Hop.
Not D-Hop.
Not D-Hop. Tank Dell and I forget the other one.
I forgot the name too. I know he went to Michigan, but like he shut down. Rico Collins. Yeah, Collins.
Yeah.
Like we pretty much shut him down last week.
Yeah.
We shut him down Sunday. And that's by design because okay, well in this area, okay, if AJ Terrell covering this area or Okuda, that's another person that hasn't been named and called because Okuda's he's really been doing his job. There haven't been targeted like quarterbacks ever since Okuda been coming off that injury. He hasn't been targeted as much.
Mm-hmm. They slid him on in there, you know what I'm saying, few plays at a time, few plays at a time, you know, few snaps at a time. He's gotten his feet up under him. He's making plays. I wanna answer
And
two
D
quick
Alford too.
questions. Yeah,
D
I wanna
Alford has
answer
been playing like so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to answer two quick questions. Nathan Floyd, I actually said it was, you know, a possibility to trade for a center, you know what I'm saying, and the pass rusher, you know, and um, Alberto asked, did Dean Pease do a good job? Well, you could say he set the foundation, you know, to hold it together. And in that
Yeah.
aspect, I could, I guess you could say yes.
We ain't had that much to work with. We ain't had cap
Yeah,
space
Right.
to
I was
sign
just about to say
anybody.
that.
For
Yeah.
what he was working with, for what you know, for what he had. I mean, he held it together with duct tape, you know, gorilla glue, and
Right.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, let's see. For Shizzle 86, I hope we get a couple of more trades. I can see us getting one more trade in. To be honest, my dirty bird's not going to go crazy. This is true.
Yeah. Facts.
This is true. There may be one, maybe two. See, the move for Jefferson, that was a move, not the move. You know, that move there, you know, it used a few pennies, but not a whole lot of coins.
Yeah. Feel like but they may end up like I would if it's between a center and a pass rusher, I will choose the center, and let me tell you why. Like
Not surprised.
Gwen, Gwen, Gwen. Yeah, we have Gwen on the roster right now that we drafted out of South Carolina this past draft, but I don't really
Right.
feel like he's ready yet. So you need
No.
if we really want to make a push and win this division and go deep into the playoffs, you're gonna need a veteran center to put on that line. As
Mm-hmm.
far as and let me tell you why I didn't choose pass rusher because we still have a lot of guys like D'Angelo Malone and those guys. They have yet to see the field. Like Bud Dupree, I don't know if y'all noticed, Bud Dupree barely take snaps like that. Like Ebby Ketty as well. Like it's a lot of
He's
guys.
now
Getting
Bud is
close
getting
too.
he
Bud is
Bud
getting
be on the
close.
field. Bud gets a
Bud, I
good
think Bud
substantial
starts,
amount
man.
of snaps.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's a lot of guys who don't really see the field as much. So you bringing in a pass rusher, like who snaps are he gonna take, or how you gonna put him in the scheme of getting to the quarterback? Because there's a lot of other guys that right now we haven't even seen yet. And like I really
And
feel like our defense, they are really trying to our staff defensive staff, they are really working on D'Angelo Malone. I really feel like there's something special going to come down the pipe for him. I really think they're trying to groom him into being like a middle linebacker or just another piece that you can use as a pass rusher. So time will tell with him. So this is why I said
yeah,
I don't really feel like it's a need to get a pass rusher right now because our defense is playing well. Do we want more sacks? Yeah, we do. But it ain't like our defense is ranked like below average or anything like that.
Yeah, like we have been for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, our defense is dominant in spite of not getting to the quarterback like we want to.
exactly.
hmm I mean, well, you know, I think for the most part, the coaching staff for some of those guys that we're not seeing, I think it's the same. I think they're taking the same approach that they took to Desmond. You know, we're gonna give you this particular set of out of the playbook. This is what we want you to work on. And I think once they get whatever they got them working on down, I think we will see them at some point. Would you agree?
True.
I agree.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our take on, for the most part, the coach and the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to expound on that, and bring that back to light because to me, it was a lot of misconceptions concerning those two and their relationship, as how it translates to the field, the film room, the classroom, and Ritter becoming a bona fide NFL quarterback, and with like what we also looked into what's on Arthur's plate while he's trying to do these things. Is there too much on his plate? Is he getting overwhelmed? Or is it he's putting things, in place, and it is a slow but methodical process. You know, Eh, we how we know, we shall see as the season goes on. Me personally, I think they're on the same page. I think the methodical process is going to work it out, and as the season goes and they get more comfortable with each other, and and Dez be able to illustrate what he's comfortable with and what he likes, from the play calling. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they're having those type of conversations,
Yep.
because you have to have those type of conversations. If you want your quarterback to grow, he has to feel that you trust him, and with that, that means you're asking him these type of questions. What do you see? What are you comfortable with? What would you like? Is it you want these route concepts to work with, as what we're facing, what you see in film study, and things of that nature. you know I myself think it was a great conversation. Might have, hopefully somebody might have learned something. You know, um, you start winding this thing on down and let you guys tell the people, the boys and girls of the NFL universe, where they can find you, where they can see you, where they can hear you, where they can follow you.
Uh, you can find me on Twitter/X at Big Ant True, Big Ant on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and pretty much everything that AFN got going on.
Don.
Alright, y'all can find me on Twitter at the man called Don. The man called Don. Same thing as Instagram, the man called Don. On TikTok, the man called Don. Also, you can find me at the Chateau Cigar Lounge every Monday. Make sure y'all go check that place out. It's a nice place up there. You can also find me at any local Krispy Kreme here in Atlanta, Georgia, any coffee house, pancake house, Popeyes, whatever, I'm around. Trust and believe.
That's the Mr. Red Light special right there.
If the red light is on, I'm not that far away from it. So
Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see scrolling across your screen, you see all said information from Twitter to Facebook. And please, 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 I can't stress this enough. Please like, subscribe, follow across the platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, show me some love and I show it right back with this info, this content, hopefully entertainment for you, all of the above. This has been this week's episode of Wicked Wednesday Sports T Dirty Bird Living. See you in 6 days, 23 hours again next Wednesday. at 1 p.m. This is your boy OG Big Sam with the big guy, the lineman, the beast, Big Ant, and the slicker, no better, slicker, Don Pastry.
Yeah,
And we are out of here.
We out. Y'all have a good evening.
I'm Don Pastry.